Hi, everyone. Welcome to Counseling 609, Group Counseling Theories and Techniques. I cannot believe another year has passed. I can't believe the break is over with, although I have to give it, the scheduling changes have been making everything very confusing. I want to spend a few moments talking about the course, giving you a few ideas about what it is we'll be doing, and just to make sure everybody's clear, let's talk a little bit about the course itself. Obviously, we're starting a little later. We don't have a spring break. There's a few non-instructional days scattered throughout. There is a spring holiday in April. The end of the semester is the first week of May, technically. You'll probably be wrapping up your last project a few weeks before that. I do that so that you have plenty of time if there's a real issue with what you've submitted, that we can correct the problem instead of causing a graduation delay. We don't want that. So be very, very conscious of everything I talk about each time we come together for the week, okay? All right, let's talk about the course. We've got the modules as usual, lectures, etc., videos, and everything else in them. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. We're also doing at the very beginning a small group facilitation online. It's just a way to get you started interacting with each other and thinking about being a group facilitator. Some of you have experience, some of you had none. This is the first, this particular activity lays out the line for us to do some work during our immersion week. So because of the changes in the WVU schedule at the last minute, we had already scheduled the immersion week for the week of March 8th. And so we've had to change that a little bit. I'm going to be dividing you up into groups of 3 instead of groups of 5. And for 3 weeks, you're each going to take a turn running courses online. Now, everybody fusses because they're like, I can't see the person, I can't interact with them the same way. We're supposed to be an asynchronous program in most things. I can't force anybody into an activity that's synchronous without a lot of advance notice. With that, if there's a group or 2 of you who could come together and want to do this via Zoom over the 3 weeks versus in a discussion posting and going in and out of that discussion, let me know, and I'm going to be scheduling these in the next couple weeks. I'll send out a doodle poll. That way, if you're really interested in doing something like that, you can indicate what times of the day you're available and during the week to do that session. We'll see what happens. I've had that request before. Again, I cannot mandate it. If not enough people want to be involved in it, everybody will be doing the online facilitation. It's worked in the past. It's a great way to sort of get your feet wet. The immersion week, like I said, is March 8th through the 10th. I've already sent you out an email that talked a little bit about what you would be doing. We haven't quite set the agenda totally yet. Usually what happens is we get together at noon on Monday. Make sure that when you come into the session that you're sitting sort of like I am, present. You know, we can see your hands, we can see your discussion, your facial features well. Make sure you don't have anything distracting in the background. There's ways to create virtual backgrounds, which I really don't like. I prefer just to set something up that looks nice to begin with. Check out, go on a Zoom link and check out what you look like, because I was in a meeting this past week. I had a 3-day board meeting online, and the one person had this light coming from the side that kind of encapsulated her whole head. And I kept thinking, you kind of look like the Virgin Mary just came back up again. It was hard to look at her. So we all want to have something set up a little bit like this. I'm a little on the dark side of my lighting in here, but there's not a lot of distraction. I mean, you can see the fiddle in the background, I know, and a few other things, but find a comfortable spot, one where you can be seen. Make sure that you're dressed at least in business casual. No sweatshirts, t-shirts, anything like that. Let's present ourselves the way we would present ourselves as therapists, sitting around in a group, having a discussion. Okay, because the immersion week, the role playing that you'll do is going to involve something that one of our graduates from a couple of years ago, he wasn't a graduate then, introduced me to the idea of something called future authoring. You're going to be working together in groups. And by the way, we're going to combine the two group counseling classes during this. So you might have people that you are not in class with right now. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to do this future authoring, and the idea is to leave you with a process where you're thinking about what you're going to do with your future and how it's going to lay out. It's worked out very well when we've done it. I've enjoyed it, the experience immensely. And I think for once between the two groups, we might be able to divide out pretty evenly. Everybody takes a turn and takes a part of it's a process that we give you in advance to review and assign you which section you're going to have so that you're prepared. And then you facilitate that hour with each other. It's like I said, we'll have to have small breakout rooms and stuff like that during the days, but we're basically scheduling noon to 5, 9 to 5, Tuesday and Thursday and Wednesday. Almost said Thursday, Wednesday. The other instructor and I will be going in and checking in and watching. We may invite some colleagues to join us and helping give some feedback because there are going to be a lot of groups going on at any one time. And we just want to make sure that everybody gets what they need. We'll have a few lectures, maybe a video or two, or a time to just sit and chat about what's going on. I'd love to give you a chance to just socialize a little bit. We can go into small group rooms, or we can, we'll figure out something. Unfortunately, when you're trying to do it on Zoom, you can't, one person can dominate the one. It happened the other night on that board meeting. We all hung out for a little bit afterwards, and somebody started talking to me, and she kept asking me question after question after question. And I realized we had taken up like half the time, and only a couple of the people were in the room, thank heavens. I felt a little bad about it, but we'll figure out what to do. Okay, so the immersion week, we'll have an exam, and the biggest thing in this is there's a group design project. There's also a second competency assessment, knowledge and skills assessment from research when you did a logic model in a program evaluation context. I've redone and redone and redone this project to help people develop a better product, the best product they can. We give you a couple chances to send us the information that you have been developing. We've got an outline for that. Don't miss that. I mean, it's painful for me to get a document where somebody has asked for no help and they're totally off base. It's basically the design of a group that addresses mental health or wellness for a population of people with disabilities, cognitive, intellectual, or physical. You don't do a project for the significantly mentally ill. You do not do a project for people with substance use disorders, and definitely not the combination. So I had to rule those out because it's not quite the meeting the spirit of the assignment. And then it's really to combine a knowledge of disability and mental health together. It's cleaner. Let's put it that way. It's a little cleaner. All right, so those are a little bit about the projects. Now we have our online courses. You'll be sitting there, hopefully smiling like this woman is when you're reading them. We'll have readings, videos, lectures. I'm going to include something this year called Everyday Ethics, addressing some of the ethical issues that can show up in a group process, just highlighting them briefly and having some discussions. I want to make the discussions richer so that you get really involved in them. There's a lot of material, as you know. I usually overdo the materials. I'm trying to divide them out as resources, because some of the resources, some of the stuff people miss or discount, and they really needed it for the group design project. I always encourage people, take what you've got in those classes and pull them out and hold on to them, because you're going to want them at some point. Okay, we talked about immersion week. It's all going to be on Zoom. And we will be setting up the March 8th through 10th event and giving you more information over the next couple weeks. I'm also going to do and one entire lecture on the group design project with a little bit more information. What I'd also like to do, and this is again goes back to the issue of synchronous, I would like to schedule a time to talk to people about it as well. So I'll send out a second doodle poll about whether or not we can find a universally wonderful time to have a half an hour or so to talk about it. But I want you to get into looking at it. So do the video presentation first, and then a couple weeks later, we can talk about I can give you some of the things that went wrong in people's documents. It's painful when you see people are totally off track. So that's a little bit about what I had to talk about. What I really, really want you to remember is stay in touch, stay organized. If this is your last semester, do not let it become, I don't have to do anything more than I have to do, because it's caused problems for people when they've done that, when they haven't paid particularly close attention to the group. I had one entire class one year forget they had a group design project. I finally started emailing everybody going, I never got you're supposed to bring your idea to the immersion week. And then I'm going to do a presentation in there as well. Well, actually, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll just do the presentation then. But the idea is for you to come up with the topic and population that you want to work with first. And we'll see if we can have some fun with it. People belabor to find a topic that's really interesting to you and something that will help you. And it's a great product to show people when you're interviewing for a job. Once you get the feedback from me and make the changes, you have a nice product to show what you've been able to create. Okay. So I just want to tell you to have a good time, and periodically, if I can find, oh, she's sleeping. Lily's in here with me, the collegiate doodle, but she's sleeping, right? I mean, dead sleep. So I'll make sure she says hello every once in a while. And I'm looking forward to working with you. Y'all take care. Bye.